like to be the next Miss Mississippi to be involved with children's lives more because there's a lot of children in Mississippi that need everyday necessities that they don't have the organizations and foundations and places to get them from. With my CSI Helping Hands supporting children in need, that would be a great thing to accomplish by being Miss Mississippi, and that could help me get it just out of the state of Mississippi.
Wow. How do you want to pursue your goal and your career path?
I just graduated from Pearl River Community College with an associate's degree in arts, and now I'm starting at William Carey University to be a future educator. I plan to go to a high school and teach math and further my career and get a master's degree and eventually teach at a university.
What made you decide to do a pageant?
Actually, one of my friends from Poplarville, we got told we looked alike a lot of times, and her mom kind of just convinced me to do it. It was out on a limb, and I really enjoy it.
So growing up, I never actually got to see anybody who I felt like represented me capture such a coveted title as a state title in the Miss America program. I grew up shorter and curvier and kind of never really got to see someone who looked like me win, and I think it's time that little girls get to see that and they get to see someone different, because you can't believe it if you can't see it. So we have to see someone do it before us in order to give us the courage to achieve it ourselves.
Well, that is a wonderful goal. And tell us a little bit about what you hope to achieve in life in your education and your career path.
I first hope to go to law school. I'm not quite sure where yet. I have a little bit of time, still feeling out some options. But hopefully I will integrate into politics and actually get to work hands-on and start making policies. And I'm really excited to get to use the skills that I've gained through the Miss Mississippi organization in order to network and really branch out and try to improve Mississippi's government.
That is a huge goal. How do you plan to improve government?
I would love to start getting some policies in place to provide better mental health resources in Mississippi. We have some of the highest rates of suicide and some of the highest rates of mental illnesses in the entire country, and at the end of the day, it is due to a lack of resources. So I would love to be able to step in and help people feel like their best self and provide them with the funds and sources to do so.
When I was in the 7th grade, a fellow friend and dancer received a terrible diagnosis called DIPG, and she passed away from that only 8 months later. And so when I got involved with the organization and I found out that Miss Mississippi had a community service initiative, that was my yes. When I found out that I could do something to make a difference and have an impact on people's lives, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
Tell us, what is your career path eventually, and where do you hope to go educationally?
Yes, so I just graduated from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College with my associate's degree, and I just started in the spring at University of Mobile getting a degree in communications. And so I plan to one day work in a nonprofit in their public relations department. It's always been a passion of mine is nonprofits, and so I hope to work in that in some way or form.
What's the number one thing you've learned by doing pageants?
I think it's just the impact that you can have on someone, and not as a whole in a body, but just on one person. And it's not just by being on stage with a pretty face, but it's by you being kind and loving others, and just having that, you can do this. And so, yeah.
Embodying the role of Miss Mississippi and serving the community has always been a big dream of mine. From growing up watching the competition on TV to performing as entertainment in the competition to now competing for the role of Miss Mississippi, it feels like a full circle moment to me, and I'm excited to just be able to uphold the values that this organization stands for, as in the 5 pillars that it stands for, and I'm super excited.
What is your eventual career path, and what type of education are you hoping to attain?
My ultimate career aspiration is to go to medical school at the University of Mississippi Medical Center to become an OBGYN. I am in the Mississippi Rural Physician Scholarship Program, where I do have the opportunity of early acceptance, and I have a spot waiting for me in the class of 2029 for medical school, yes. And I'm just excited for this role. I'm ready to step into my medical career. I'm super excited, and I believe that I'm ready to step into that role.
What's the number one thing you've learned by doing a pageant?
The number one thing that I think I've learned is just the growth in myself. when you do pageants and competitions, a lot of people think that, it's kind of a weird environment, a lot of tension, but it's grown me so much as a person to just up my confidence and be able to empower women, because that ultimately is what the Miss America organization is for, creating great women for the world and the world for great women. And I believe that I am learning every day and growing, and I'm so excited to have that opportunity to learn more for the second time this year.
I grew up with anxiety, and I used dance as an outlet to help me overcome my stresses and worries. And I really inspire to help other children understand that it's okay to go through things like this. And I want them to know that dance was an outlet for me, and it could be for them too.
Good. All right. Tell us, what type of education do you hope to receive, and what is your career path?
Right now, I'm on the pre-med track to become a pediatrician, and I love kids, and I think that starting from a young age and just inspiring kids with different morals and different values that you have, or help allowing them to know that life gets better, I think that's so important, and I just want to help and allow them to know that we all go through things in life, and there are people there to help you overcome the things that you go through.
Very good. All right. Tell us just a little bit about what made you do a pageant to begin with.
I think just spreading my morals and values and what I believe in, but also my platform, Moving with Mary Ashley, because I just really want all children to know that it's okay to go through anxiety, and there are different outlets that they can use, just like I did, to overcome it.
I grew up watching the pageant with my grandmother specifically, and I remember looking at that TV and being amazed at the girls on the stage and how, grown they looked and felt to me. And I never thought that I'd ever have the opportunity to do this. And, the opportunity was given to me, and I leapt for it, because I just know as a kid sitting there, I want to give that same feeling to those children, those young women that are sitting behind the TVs saying, I really want to do that, but I don't think that I ever can, because you can.
Well, tell them how they can.
Well, you can start by, gathering things that you find interest in. And happiness is actually my CSI, and I believe that that is one of the main reasons that I'm here, is because I found happiness within myself, and I was surrounded by positivity and encouragement. And when you have those foundations, you build from that, and you can go from there. You can do anything that you set your mind to.
What is your eventual career path, and what do you hope to attain through your education?
Well, I'm in court reporting school at Pearl River Community College, and it is right now the only school in the state that offers this program. After I finish, hopefully within the next year and a half, I plan to go straight into the work field, because there is a huge demand in Mississippi for court reporters, and I just want to help lessen that demand with my work. And so it takes a lot of, hard work and effort to get there, but I'm hoping to get there as fast as I can.
I feel that having the platform as Miss Mississippi, you have the privilege to make a difference around the world. My platform is called Big Sis Me, and I just want to encourage everyone and just lead by example, and just encourage everyone to let them know that they can accomplish anything that they can accomplish, and just encourage young women to just become the best version of themselves inside and out, and just really focus on their mental health, physical health, emotional health, to just have an overall better quality of life.
What's the number one thing you've learned by being in a pageant?
I definitely learned that this is not just any beauty pageant. Just by being in Miss Mississippi last year, I've had some of my friends thinking, oh, you just walk around on stage in the dresses, but it's just honestly so much more than that. There's so much preparation that goes into competing in Miss Mississippi and the Miss America organization. I've improved so much of my communication skills. I've made so many great, amazing connections. And the sisterhood behind it, I really made some genuine friends last year that I still keep up with to this day. And it still offers us scholarship money to further pursue our careers. So,
well, where do you hope to go with your career, and what type of education are you hoping to attain?
All right, so I'm at Mississippi State right now. I'm a junior, and I'm a biological sciences major with a concentration in pre-dental. I actually got accepted into the rural dentistry program, so I will be attending UMMC hopefully after I graduate next spring to pursue my career as a cosmetic dentist. I feel like a smile is something that really raises somebody's confidence, can just change the complete mindset of someone, and just being able to change that for others is just something that's I'm really looking forward to. So I'm really excited to further pursue that career.
I would absolutely love to be the next Miss Mississippi. I am an advocate for mental health, and knowing some of these young girls are afraid to compete because they feel less than or not enough, I want to be that voice and be that girl to stand out and tell them that it is okay to compete and to just go for whatever they want.
Wow. Tell us, what are your goals in education?
I am pursuing orthodontist. I would absolutely love to be an orthodontist. I got bullied for my teeth growing up because I had a gap, and I went to the orthodontist and got it fixed. But I just want to be that orthodontist that tells those kids that if they are getting bullied, that it's okay not to change and just to be themselves.
What got you into doing a pageant?
I competed in pageants when I was a very little girl. I was Little Miss Vicksburg, so it's a surreal moment and a full circle moment that I get to be Miss Vicksburg at the age of 21. And I started competing just to be that voice for younger girls to step out of their comfort zone and do whatever, because that's how I was. I was scared to compete, and now that I am competing, I'm a stronger individual of the person that I was 3 years ago, and I couldn't be more proud.
What about the scholarships this organization provides? How have they helped you and your family?
I've already earned $1,300 in scholarship from competing last year at Miss Mississippi, and it's going to help me go towards orthodontist school because it will be very expensive, but it'll be very, very worth it in the end.
So I really like the platform that Miss Mississippi gives you, and I really believe in my social initiative. It's on Alzheimer's and educating people on what they can do to help alleviate the symptoms of Alzheimer's, as well as just general health advice that you can have for yourself, as well as what kind of support the people who are caring for either their mother, their father, or grandparents, or even sibling with Alzheimer's, what support they have.
Tell us a little bit about your career and what you want to hope to attain and where you want to be in 10 years.
So I want to be a physician, so my end goal is to go to medical school. And with that degree, with medical school, I can go become a doctor, either family medicine or neurologist, whichever one it takes me to. But that's my end goals and where I see myself in 10 years.
What about these scholarship dollars that this organization can provide to you? What do you think? What's important to you about that?
I think that the scholarship is pretty important because it gives me an opportunity to pay for school and having school as my sole focus, not needing to worry about having another job and just being a student just my job.
Growing up with anxiety and depression, I never saw myself as being someone that could hold the title of Miss Mississippi, let alone compete for it. And thanks to the Miss America opportunity, I've been able to implement my community service initiative, the Peace Project, into schools not only in the state of Mississippi, but in Tennessee and Alabama as well. So just continuing to spread awareness for anxiety and continuing to help others is my main goal as the next Miss Mississippi.
Okay, well, tell us what's your career path? Where do you hope to go, and what type of education do you aspire to?
So I'm a current junior at the University of Mississippi, majoring in political science with a double minor in public policy leadership and global security with an emphasis in international relations. So my ultimate goal is to be a liaison for the Federal Bureau of Investigation to just really bridge the gap between intelligence professionals and their communities.
Where did you get this aspiration?
So I actually have always had a fascination with Criminal Minds. It was actually my favorite TV show growing up. So I've always aspired to be like JJ and just continue to work within a male-dominated field and just continue to power through that and make changes in the world.
What have the scholarship dollars this organization provides meant to you and your family?
It means to the world. My parents originally didn't have college education, so being able to be a first-generation college student has been amazing. But without the scholarship money that I've gotten from the Miss America opportunity, I would have graduated with tons of debt. But now I've been able to go through my education process, and I'm planning to graduate next year completely debt-free, so I'm very excited about that and owe it all to the Miss America opportunity.
What one thing do you think was most important that you have learned by doing pageants?
I think to just be myself. I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I used to always think about the stereotypical Barbie pageant queen, and instead of everything that was deep down inside. I mean, I'm a self-harm survivor. I'm coming up on my 3-year anniversary, so just showing that a beauty queen is just not one specific image. It can be so many different things, and we can change the world.
Growing up, I was Hannah Roberts' princess, so that made my whole entire world go round. I got to see her live that dream, and it instilled a dream inside of me that I just could never let go of. I never thought that I would get the chance to compete for this, and here I am because of God's blessing.
What made you do a pageant other than that?
I have always loved getting dressed up, putting on the dresses, doing my makeup, and fixing my hair. I watched my mom put makeup on growing up as a little girl, and I just wanted to do what she did.
Awesome. Well, what is your ultimate career path?
I am currently getting my degree in elementary education. I'm a teacher assistant as well as a full-time student, but after I finish my elementary education degree, I plan to go to law school to become a child advocacy lawyer.
Well, tell us, what have the scholarships dollars meant to you that this organization provides?
They mean so much more than anyone can realize. They can make your college become debt-free. Having a debt-free college experience is more than anyone could ever ask for.
Would you encourage other little girls to go on this path?
Absolutely. I said a while back to my sister who loves to play softball, just because you love to play softball doesn't mean you have to limit yourself to it. If you go for the pageant, you can have scholarship money, which can help fund your career.
Miss Mississippi has always been an icon across our state, and she has so much pull to get things done, and she can inspire young women across our state, young children across our state, and I believe that that's my dream in life. I want to be a superintendent. I want to make sure that our kids are learning as much as they can learn in the best ways possible, and I think being Miss Mississippi would help me do just that.
You want to be a superintendent, so what type of education are you going to get to be a superintendent?
Right now, the plan is go all the way to doctorate. I just started my master's this semester at Mississippi State University, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's very different than undergraduate degree, but in the best ways. I'm getting to learn the whys behind everything and why it's so important we do the things that we do, and why it works. And it's really interesting to see how that works in a classroom with children.
What inspired you to get into pageants?
I think just the beauty of it, and not just the beauty of the girls, but the way that it can teach you everything you need to know in the simplest ways. I think a lot of people don't understand the complexity of what goes into competing in Miss Mississippi. They think we just slap on some makeup and a pretty dress and get on stage, but really all of the interview practice has prepared me for the rest of my life. Getting to speak to children across our state already has prepared me for my job and career for the future, and it's just a beautiful process to see come to life.
Well, tell us, what do the scholarships that this organization provides mean to you?
It means everything. Because of Miss America, I haven't had to pay a dime of my undergraduate or graduate degree so far, and I'm pretty sure that will continue into the future. And I'm really excited to be able to say that I don't have to worry about that. And that's exactly why it's an opportunity that everyone should take and run with.
I really believe it's a fate thing. It started out in 2012. I wrote on my graduation program that I wanted to become Miss USA or Miss America, and not even 3 years later, a girl randomly looked at me and said, "You look like you have become the next Miss America." And so ever since then, I've been holding on to it, been helping other people with their task, and now it's time for me to put me first.
Well, tell us, what do you think the next Miss America should look like?
I think the next Miss America should look like anyone that's standing in the mirror and asking themselves that question. I don't think there should be any type of barriers or any type of perception of what she should look like, but she's a relatable and authentic individual.
Well, tell us, what is your eventual career path? What would you like to do, and what education are you trying to pursue?
Okay, so I definitely want to go to grad school. I'm looking at getting my master's in finance to complement my business degree, but I'm sold on getting my master's degree in psychology. I would love to become a serial entrepreneur. Right now, I'm working on starting my publishing company, Powerhouse Executive, so that's what we're doing thus far.
Wow. What have the scholarship dollars that this organization provides meant to you?
You know, I struggled with having scholarships coming out of high school. I wanted to go to a conservatory, so seeing opportunities like this, I know that no one is entitled to a scholarship, so I'm definitely honored and grateful for any organization that provides scholarships.
I want to be Miss Mississippi to show women from smaller areas that if they want to pursue their dreams, they can make it happen. The hardest step is the first step, and I just want to be an encouragement to women to show them that if they want to take the first step, that I can help them and lead by example.
Well, what made you do pageants?
I started pageants when I was around 4 years old. My high school did pageants, and so I did it through my school. But what encouraged me to start the Miss Mississippi organization is Vivian. I met her through my workout class, actually. We work out together at Pure Bar in Hattiesburg, and I just saw how much she loved it, and she encouraged me to start my first preliminary pageant.
Wow. Well, what do you hope to do with pageants? Where do you hope to go with it and be eventually?
Well, of course, my dream is to be Miss Mississippi. That's where I hope to go, and I hope to go to Miss America and represent the state of Mississippi. And I hope through that I'll be able to raise awareness for my CSI, safety and shelter, and homeless shelters around the state of Mississippi.
What got you into that?
I started that organization in August 2021, my senior year of high school. And I was inspired by a friend that I knew that entered a women's shelter. And I started out with fundraisers. I started doing a Bible fundraiser, and then it started going into money fundraisers. And I was just able to provide needs to the homeless shelters around the state of Mississippi, because if you ever go into the homeless shelters, they are understaffed and they need products. And so that's what I was inspired to do.
Well, tell us what you're planning to do in college. What is your major? Where are you hoping to eventually lead a career path to?
So I am a nursing major and psychology minor at the University of Southern Mississippi, and my end career goal is to be a certified registered nurse anesthetist.
Well, that is wonderful. Well, tell us just a little bit about how your family thinks about you being in the pageants.
Well, my family is very country. I am the only girl in the family. It's just me and my mom, and so I have a brother and my dad. And my mother, of course, she is loving this. She is all things glitz and glamour, and she inspired me to do my pageant. She's the one that put me in my pageant, so she loves this. My dad, he is just supportive of anything, whether it be dance competitions, pageants, or just helping me move in for school. He's always been there. And my brother, he doesn't really know what is going on, but he is just ready to be there and support me no matter what it is.
Well, tell us, what have the scholarships meant to you?
So I am going to the University of Southern Mississippi as of right now on ACT and Lucky Day scholarships. And so through the Miss Mississippi organization, the scholarships will allow me to get my doctorate in nurse anesthetist, like become a nurse anesthetist, and that way I can serve the state of Mississippi and give back when they give me those scholarships.
I want to do Miss Mississippi because it's so important for me to represent the hometown that I come from, which is Quitman, Mississippi. I find it in my heart to show that representation is so important, to be able to give young girls the opportunity to see that they can do anything they want to in life. I think it's so important to not only be the example, but take the best foot forward and just show everyone what it's like to go for your goals and be a difference in your community.
What made you decide to do a pageant in the first place?
I feel like growing up, you grow up and you see those young ladies on TV and you see the beauty and you see the glitz and glamour, but then as you grow older, you see that those young women are making an impact in their communities. And so I would love to be able to merge the factor of beauty, but also show the impact of brains, knowledge, and a career-focused path, and where this opportunity can take me to further in my career.
What is going to be your eventual career? What are you interested in eventually when you graduate?
My long-term goal is to serve as a president over a community college or university.
Wow. Are you getting then a doctorate in education?
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently pursuing a specialist degree in that, and then I will go forward with my PhD.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your family and how they think about this.
My parents are so proud. They are using this opportunity to shed light on what they've done and how they've raised me to grow up and just be a leader and to be kind and to be community focused. And so for me to be able to go back to my roots, it's so important for them to be able to see this transaction as well.
Well, tell us about the scholarships and what they've meant to you and your family.
The scholarships mean the world. I am a first-generation college student, and so this is literally the first step forward within my immediate family in pursuing an education. So for me to be able to use this opportunity to further my education is extremely important to them and myself as well.
So from the former Holly Brand, she was Miss Mississippi, and she really inspired me, but also since then I loved watching the organization, watching the program, and I really wanted to see a girl like me to be able to represent. So I came to this program to be able to build up my confidence and to have younger girls look up to me and see themselves up on stage in the future.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about what you want to do in life. What's your career path, and what do you hope to attain any sort of education?
Yes, so I'm currently majoring in clinical psychology, so I hope to be a psychiatrist. I really want to go to grad school and get my education there, but I need scholarship money to be able to fund that, so this is why I'm a part of the organization now.
Yeah, what do those scholarship dollars mean to you?
They mean so much to me. A lot of my family are not able to pay for my education now, so right now I'm currently getting to programs and currently sending in my resume for different things just so I can apply for a lot of different programs.
About 1 in 9 children in Mississippi will lose a sibling or parent by the time that they are 18, and that doesn't even account for close relatives or friends. So the percentage of grieving children in our state is very high. So it is my goal to use my community service initiative, Sunshine in the Morning, to help educate, advocate, and raise awareness for grieving children in Mississippi.
What inspired this particular message that you want to give?
Whenever I was in the 5th grade, my uncle, his name was Officer Benjamin Dean, he was shot and killed in the line of duty on May 9th, 2015. 6 months later, his daughter and my cousin, Mila Brianne Dean, she tragically died one night unexpectedly, and I faced a lot of grief, a lot of depression over that at a very young age, and I saw my siblings go through that. And the resources in Mississippi are very slim, so I'm really hoping to expand those and provide children with what I didn't have whenever I was younger.
My mother actually had the opportunity to compete for Miss Mississippi in the 90s, but due to her being diagnosed with cancer, she never had the opportunity to continue. So now that I'm here and have this opportunity, I'm doing this for her. I'm doing this for the ambitious woman that she is and being able to do this and walk in her footsteps.
Tell us a little bit about your education and where you want to go in life with your career path.
Sure. I'm currently working toward my Master's of Business Administration in order to become a hospital administrator. Something that relates to my platform, Aid for First Aid, is the fact that there is burnout in the hospital. So what I would like to do is open my own private consulting firm in order to help with the burnout in the workplace and in the medical field and spark that new interest that what made them want to come into this field and what made them want to do this and serve their people. And that's what I'd like to do.
Tell us a little bit about what got you interested in pageants other than your mother.
Sure. It would definitely have to be seeing these young women be able to stand firm in what they believe in and just display that to the world. And also the skills that you gain from doing these pageants is such as interview skills. You're going to take those with you for the rest of your life and displaying your talent, your health, your fitness, and all of your passions into one place and showing that to your state.
What is the number one thing you've learned by doing pageants?
I would definitely have to say that remaining true to yourself. There is no key to these things, but the one key that I can say is remaining true to who you are and being unashamed to display that to your state.
I truly cannot imagine representing a better state. Mississippi has such a rich heritage, and I would love to represent a state like that. And secondly, whenever I was little, I remember looking up to the local title holders so much. I still have books of the autographs that I've gotten from them whenever they would come and do school visits and different things. And so being on the flip side, it's so surreal, and knowing that there are little girls that are looking up to me as their role model. So I would be proud to represent women in that way.
Well, what's your ultimate career path, and where do you want to go in life and your education?
So currently I'm studying banking and finance and risk management and insurance at Ole Miss, and I plan to become a financial advisor working in private wealth management. And along with that, I want to really help women in financial advising because they're so often overlooked in the financial planning arena.
What made you get into that field?
So, like I said, women are so often overlooked in that, and I'm also really interested in making sure that people start investing young. The power of compound interest is so spectacular, and so if you start investing when you're 20 versus when you're 40, the results they're amazing. And so I've just been really inspired to share that information with people and to let them know that you can invest and you can make a good living for yourself in retirement.
As someone who is studying music therapy in the state of Mississippi, I have been able to watch other states achieve things that Mississippi is kind of behind the curve on, and I just want to inspire the rest of Mississippi to become as passionate about music therapy as I am, so I know being Miss Mississippi would give me the voice to be able to do that.
Tell us, what got you interested in pageants to begin with?
So growing up, I did little one-and-done pageants, and it was fun, but eventually I had a very close family friend reach out to me and just really push that I go try Miss Mississippi's Outstanding Teen just one time, just because she thought I would enjoy it. And eventually I caved, went to Miss Mississippi's Outstanding Team, had the best time of my life, made so many friends that I'm still friends with today, and I have just fallen in love with the Miss America organization and everything it stands for.
Well, that's wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your career path and where you want to go with it.
So, as I mentioned, I am studying music therapy, so I want to become a music therapist
But more than that, I have noticed that a lot of people who come into our field often drop out because they're worried about job security. So I want to be able to fix that problem by traveling to all 50 states and building music therapy programs from the ground up and just help build job security and also provide music therapy services to everyone who needs it.
Well, I'm originally from Texas, so when I moved here to attend Ole Miss, I was unsure if I could compete for the title of Miss Mississippi. But after watching it for 2 years, I learned that this organization is so much more than just the girls that live here. There's so much diversity here, and I love it, and that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be part of an organization that encourages women to come compete for the title of Miss Mississippi.
Well, what's your ultimate career plan, and what type of education are you going to receive?
So I'm currently studying multimedia journalism, really wanting to become either a news anchor or meteorologist. So currently looking into meteorology school, and I'm the current weather anchor for Newswatch Ole Miss, which is a student-run news station on campus.
Okay. And whatever got you into doing a pageant to begin with? What was that inspiration for you?
So I remember watching my very first Miss America in the living room with my family and watching the women walk across stage, and they weren't just beautiful, they were smart as well. And I was like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be a woman who is empowered and smart and beautiful and can do what these women are doing across the Miss America stage. And that's kind of what sparked it. And then my mom came to me and she was like, I actually competed in pageants when I was younger. And I was like, whoa, that is so cool. I want to follow in your footsteps.
Well, like 60% of our population, I experienced trauma at a very early age, and children's mental health is not something that's always taken seriously. And as Miss Mississippi, I want to shed light on the mental health consequences that often stem from childhood trauma.
Well, tell us a little bit about your career path. Where do you hope to go? What type of education would you like to get?
Yeah, well, right now I'm a senior at USM. I'm getting my elementary education degree, and I hope to start teaching hopefully 5th or 6th grade next year in the next 2 years. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I had an amazing teacher in the 5th grade who really inspired me, and ever since she told me that I should be a teacher, that's kind of always been on my mind.
What made you decide to do a pageant?
Well, I've always loved pageants. I probably did my first pageant when I was 3 or 4, and then I did pageants all throughout high school, but I really started taking them seriously when I got in college, and I've just always loved the glamour of pageants, and it's something I've always wanted to do.
What's the number one thing you've learned by doing pageants?
Probably that beauty means more than one thing. It's not just a physical thing. I think we often look at pageant girls, and that's the first thing we see, so it's the only thing we think of. But after doing pageants and after competing with this organization, I've learned that there's a lot of beauty inside too, and that's a big part of it.
What about the scholarships this organization provides? What have they meant to you?
Yeah, well, after competing for only 1 year, I've earned enough scholarship dollars to help pay for my senior year of college. And now I'm back here at year number 2, and I'm hoping to earn more scholarship dollars to help pay for my master's degree next year.
Well, funny enough, I'm actually originally from Ukraine. I was adopted when I was 12, and becoming my own ballet studio owner, I want to show my girls that you can overcome anything and be Miss Mississippi.
Wow. Where do you hope to go with college? Do you have an eventual career path? Are you planning to learn something? Or are you going to be the most outstanding dance teacher ever?
So with college, I believe it's something that should complement your dreams and your goals. And I would love to go to Belhaven, and it's actually a dance school. It's School of the Arts. And I would love to learn how to teach better, how to choreograph better, how to put on productions, the business side of things, and really effectively do my job.
What made you decide to do a pageant to begin with?
So actually, as a dancer, I used to dance for a company called Ballet Magnificat. I was their trainee for about 2 years, and after seeing that, as a group, dance is really great and it worships the Lord as a team, but I also wanted to kind of get out of my shell and start choreographing my own dances and starting really just kind of become my own person. And I think pageants really allowed me with the talent aspect of it. I started choreographing my own point pieces and really developing that side of me that I actually didn't know existed.
With my CSI being food insecurity and Mississippi being the #1 state for food insecurity, it is so crucial that I'm able to, have a broader scale to be able to go around the state and spread my message of, food security and teaching kids how to advocate for it from a young age.
Tell us what your career path is going to be and what your goals are in education.
Yeah, so I was recently a victim of domestic violence, and it was the catalyst from changing my career path from pre-med to pre-law. And my goal is to just be a lawyer and be able to advocate for other women who have been victims of domestic violence who don't have the funds to pay for a lawyer.
Tell us a little bit about what got you interested in doing a pageant.
Yeah, so I'm actually financially independent since I'm 24 and graduated from undergrad. And so the scholarships are really what drew me in, and just the ability to help fund my education and fund my, my graduate studies and then law school in the future.
It's an incredibly unique opportunity to be not only a state title holder within the state of Mississippi, but also at a national level. You're promoting a certain platform, you're talking to children, elderly. It's just an incredible role to meet people, and as a people-first person, if I can talk to somebody, that's going to be the best job ever. So I can't imagine a better job than being Miss Mississippi.
Tell us, what's your goal in life? Where do you hope to be in 10 years from now?
In 10 years, I hope to be a PR executive of a company, whether that's medical or beauty. Just really being in the PR field is something that I've become really interested in, and I worked in over the summer. So whether that's in New York or Atlanta or here in Mississippi, just hoping that I further my career in PR.
Is that where do you hope to get your degree, education?
So I am a senior at the University of Mississippi studying integrated marketing communication with a minor in business and a specialization in public relations. So I'm going to finish my degree in May and then go out to get some real on-the-job training and then probably go back and get my MBA to open my own PR firm.
Well, tell us about the scholarship dollars. What have they meant to you?
They've meant absolutely everything. I'm the middle of 3, and all of my siblings and I were in college at the exact same time for at least a year and a half. So putting that pressure on me to try to make those scholarship dollars so my parents didn't have to pay for 4 college tuitions was really important to me at a young age. So when I started competing in this organization as a teen and then now as a Miss, I've gotten over $100,000 in scholarships. So it's really meant the world and has changed my life and my family's.
I truly am in love with my state of Mississippi. It is the hospitality state, and so no matter where you go, you're going to meet people with open arms who are welcoming you into the state of Mississippi, and so to represent Mississippi on the national level is the absolute dream for me.
What made you decide to do a pageant very first pageant you did?
I probably did my very first pageant when I was like 2 years old, and my dad walked me. I've always loved the glam and the glitz, and I love getting my hair and makeup done and the gown, but it's so much more than that. It's being able to serve on a platform. It's being able to, in Miss America organization, gain scholarships and sisterhood, and so that's just really why I got started.
Tell us, what's your career path? What you hope to do in life, and what education are you planning to get?
So I'm pursuing a degree in marketing, but I'm also getting a minor in broadcasting. So I'm kind of keeping my options open. I'm really interested in medical sales, but also sports broadcasting I'm so drawn to as well. So just kind of keeping that door open.
What about the scholarship dollars this organization provides? How has that helped you and your family?
Yeah, that's my favorite part about this organization is that you gain so much scholarships. I've only competed at the preliminary level in the Miss America organization, and I've already gained so many scholarships. And I think that's what most girls don't realize about this organization is that you can gain scholarships at your preliminary, and that's my favorite thing about it.
I want to be the next Miss Mississippi because I'm a first-generation college student and a proud one at that. I want every student to believe that they are able to achieve their dreams, that anything is possible, whether that's from pageantry or just the simple fact of getting a degree. The fact of the matter is it is so hard to be a college student and then to be a first-gen college student. Only 27% of first-gen college students, they only graduate college. So out of the 100% that attend, only 27% graduate. That's alarming, and that's why I created my community service initiative, Feeling First Gen.
Tell us a little bit about your goals. Where do you hope to go with your education and what you aspire to become on your career path?
So my major is professional meteorology with an emphasis in aviation. I hope to be a space flight meteorologist and work with NASA. I hope to become the person that just helps everyone in times of severe storms, especially with lightning and severe weather inside of Florida with their liftoff station. And I am just extremely happy to be on the career path at Mississippi State University. They have one of the best schools for meteorology, and so being an out-of-state student and being able to come to Mississippi State University, my dream school, was absolutely amazing.
What made you decide to do a pageant in the first place?
So it was my senior year of high school, and they were offering a scholarship and had a talent portion. I'm a musician, I play flute, and so because I am extremely comfortable in that and wanted to showcase my talent abilities and wanted to earn scholarship dollars for college, I started my first high school pageant, and I won the whole thing, and it was absolutely an amazing experience. I regretted not doing it sooner, and so whenever I went to college, I did the same thing, which is why I ultimately joined the Miss America opportunity, because I wanted to gain that scholarship dollars.
Being the next Miss Mississippi would be such an honor. It would mean that I get to represent the state that means so much to me, and it would mean that I would get to continue my community service initiative from a grander platform, spreading the word of Joycey's journey and enabling the disabled while breaking the stigma that surrounds the special needs community and empowering women all over and teaching them what inclusivity looks like versus what it does not look like would mean the absolute world to me.
What got you started on that path?
Of Joycey's journey or pageants? I had an aunt who was born with cerebral palsy, among other disabilities, and my grandmother, which was her sister, would pick us up from school in the afternoons, and we would go to her house. And she was my absolute best friend. I just immediately fell in love with her, and going into a public setting and seeing people look at her like she was less than because she was in a wheelchair or like she was different for some reason, really just like lit a fire in me to teach the world that the special needs community is just like us. They desire love, friendships, and inclusivity.
Tell us a little bit about your career path and your goals and your aspirations in education.
Okay. So I'm an elementary education major with a minor in special education, and in December of this year, I will actually apply for the master's program in child psychology and counseling. My goal with all of that is to get a seat on IEP team meetings. I want to be able to be a voice for the voiceless and really stand up for children who could be receiving over accommodations or under accommodations. I've always been passionate about people with disabilities, and so I've decided I'm going to devote my life to continuing to break that stigma.
Tell us a little bit about the scholarship dollars this organization provides and what it's meant to you and your family.
Well, college is not for the weak, and I will say that. So the scholarship dollars from Miss Mississippi have made college possible for me. It's made getting a higher education and pursuing my dreams and my goals possible, and I'm forever indebted and grateful for the Miss Mississippi organization for allowing me to do that.
I believe that our current Miss America, Madison Marsh, broke the glass ceiling for females in the military and in pageantry. I feel like as a military member, it's my job to keep the glass ceiling broken and to allow not only working class women, but military women to feel included and welcome in pageantry.
So you're new to pageants?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've only decided to do this in the last month?
Yes, ma'am. I decided to compete in my prelim about a month beforehand.
Wow. Well, what have you learned in the last couple of months?
I've learned in this pageantry that I have an entire sisterhood behind me, backing me no matter what I do. And that's actually why I decided to compete. I'm one of two female loadmasters in my squadron, and I decided to compete to make some female friends. So I'm really excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your career path, what you hope to do, where you hope to go, and what your education goals are.
Of course. So I'm currently a loadmaster in the United States Air Force. I'm getting my bachelor's degree in business at American Military University. And the goal is to pursue officer training school and then eventually, hopefully, get selected for undergraduate pilot training in the Air Force.
I feel like as Miss Mississippi, you get to be an ambassador for the Miss America organization. And with that, you get to spread so much joy and happiness across all states. And I feel like in these positions as delegates, we have things to share. We have stories to tell. And as Miss Mississippi, Miss America, or simply just Miss USM, I get to share my story. And I think that is a big inspiration as to why I want to be Miss Mississippi.
What got you interested in doing a pageant to begin with?
When I was young, I was very, very, very shy, like painfully shy. And so I started pageants as a way to kind of come out of my shell and embrace who I am. And that is exactly what this organization has done for me. It has allowed me to open up and share a story and be who I am and be proud of that. And that is why I'm still here today.
Tell us your career path. Where do you plan to go? What's your education? What do you hope to aspire?
So right now, I'm a media entertainment arts major with a minor in social media marketing. And so hopefully one day I will be somewhere doing something in the marketing business. I feel like nowadays there's so many jobs open to those types of industries. And so I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it just yet, but I know that that is my path.
What about the scholarship dollars? What has that meant to you?
Oh, it means so much. So when I was young, I was diagnosed as twice exceptional, which means I have 2 learning disabilities. And so while I keep up with my academics, it is not my strongest suit. And so scholarships mean the world to me because I need them to get through college and to whatever I aspire after college. Because my dad owns a small business, things like that. Scholarship money just means a lot.
It's always been a dream of mine. I've watched the Miss America and Miss Mississippi competition since I was 4 years old, and my babysitter went from changing my diapers to competing on the Miss Mississippi stage, and she actually won Miss Mississippi, so that really motivated me to chase my dreams as well.
Well, tell us, what do you hope to gain from this experience?
Ultimately, scholarship dollars, memories, and sisters. I've been in this organization for 3 years now, and I've gained so many friends and lifelong friends. I just went to Mississippi State University. I'm a freshman, and I already knew so many girls from the Miss America organization that could help me out on campus and just be a friend in need.
Tell us, where do you hope to go with your career, your education, and what's your path through life?
I'm a business administration major, and I hope to get a minor in marketing. I want to open my own clothing line and for sustainable and affordable clothing.
How have your parents felt about this situation with you in the pageants?
They love it. I think I'm not only chasing my dream, but my mom loves it as well. Of course, she loves shopping for pretty shiny dresses, but they, of course, enjoy the fact that there's a weight lifted off of them when it comes to scholarship dollars and paying for my education.
Well, tell us, what do you hope to achieve at the end of all of this?
Ultimately, memories. I have already gained so many memories with the friendships I've made here in this organization, and I hope to continue.
I've been a participant in this organization for the last 12 years, and while growing up on the stage, I always loved to perform and to sing. I was also terrified. I was terrified to interview in front of people. I was terrified to do interviews, and throughout those last 12 years, I've grown so much because of this organization. So standing before you today is a young woman who knows that she's capable of anything, and I believe that that's because of the Miss Mississippi organization. So to get to share that with other women and make sure that they know about the Miss America opportunity and have those things put in front of them and those opportunities in front of them would mean the world to me.
All right, since you've done this for many, many years, tell us what got you interested in doing a pageant in the very beginning?
So I grew up doing pageants. I always wanted to be on the stage. I always wanted to be singing. And I also grew up watching the Miss Mississippi competition. It was a huge tradition in our household to pile up in front of the TV and watch it. So it was really a no-brainer for me when I turned 12 and was able to do the Miss Mississippi teen pageant for the first time to get up on the stage. And I fell in love with the organization, and I've been here ever since.
Well, tell us, what's your career path? What do you plan to do with your education? Where do you hope to go in life?
So I have an undergraduate degree in communications, and right now I'm working on my master's degree in integrated marketing communications. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with that. We'll see where life takes me. I do know that I want to be in a position where I can lead others, continuing encouraging people to give back to their communities, and I'd love to do a little traveling in the process, so we'll see.
Since you've done a lot of work in the pageant industry, tell us, what have the scholarship dollars meant to you over the years?
So much. Like I said, I started competing in this organization when I was 12 years old. So I started accumulating scholarship dollars when I was 12 years old. And I remember it just being a huge weight lifted off my shoulders when I finally made it to college and was able to put those dollars to use. This organization has paid for my housing, for a laptop, for books, for tuition. So it really has meant a great deal to myself and my family.
I would love to be an ambassador for the Miss America organization because I believe that I am the person to show Mississippi what our women have to offer to the state and to show our state what our women have to offer us. So I think that this opportunity would really give me a greater platform to do that, and I am Mississippi's biggest cheerleader, and I would love the chance to do that on the national stage.
What led you to do a pageant to begin with?
The scholarship dollars, honestly, and the desire to break the stigma of what a pageant is. Pageants are not just about beauty, they're also about brains. And if I can show my peers, the people older and younger than me, that pageantry is truly about becoming the best and most refined version of yourself, most authentic version of yourself, then I've set out to achieve my goal.
Well, tell us, what is your ultimate career path? What do you want to do with your life? Where are you going to go with your education?
I'm currently double majoring in biology and chemistry. I have plans to attend the University of Mississippi Medical Center and become a radiologist after my 4 years of medical training are over. And I would love to stay in the state and practice medicine here.
I want to be the next Miss Mississippi because I know that I can impact younger girls' lives all across the nation. Growing up being 6'3" was not easy for me, and I know that I can help other girls who are going through any discomfort or any obstacles in their life based off of how they look or how they feel and how they're being bullied in schools.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about your journey to doing a pageant.
Well, I actually have never competed in a pageant before. My first pageant was my senior year of high school, and I actually won. And we had an interview in that pageant, so I was very, very empowered to do another pageant, and I knew that I wanted scholarship dollars because my future career goal is to be an orthodontist. So the Miss America organization is the perfect opportunity for me to gain those scholarship dollars, to use my dance as talent, and to advocate for girls who are being bullied in schools.
Wow, you really put it all together. Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your family, how they interacted with you once you made this decision.
My mom was second runner-up to Miss Mississippi whenever she competed, and she was very, very happy that I chose to compete. She's never forced me to do any type of pageant or make any decision based on pageants, and she really told me that she was very excited that I was competing. And my younger sister is very much a tomboy. She loves wearing hoodies and leggings to school, and she told me that I encouraged her to do more pageants and to put herself out there more. And of course, my dad is the ultimate pageant dad. He picks out all of my dresses and all of my earrings, and my grandparents are over the moon excited that I'm going to be on TV.
When I was 18, my younger brother was diagnosed with a rare disease, and it was declared inoperable. Through his journey and the battle he still fights today, I gained a passion to fight for it, for the betterment of others, and now I'm ready to be a beacon of hope for all Mississippians, that despite what your journey may entail, you can use it as fuel for good.
Well, what made you decide to do a pageant in the first place?
I wanted to gain a voice for Preston and his disease and for his community because it is rare. It occurs in 18 in 100,000, and I knew this was the best possible opportunity to do that.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about your family and how are they responding to all this?
They are very excited for it. I have to say they are so supportive in everything I do, and to just step out into this is outside of my comfort zone. Sports for my life growing up, so now this is something that just keeps everyone on their toes.
So as we've seen, Miss America, she can be in the Air Force, she can be a nuclear scientist, so I think why can't Miss America be in the construction industry? And that's something that I advocate for every single day, is getting women involved in that industry like myself, who were afraid of it at first because it was so male dominated. But yeah, putting my best foot forward and being the best version of myself in that field.
Okay, I have to ask, whatever got you interested in construction?
So I started looking into engineering. Both of my parents were Mississippi State graduates, so I knew I was going to be a bulldog. So I looked into engineering college, but I realized really quick that calculus was not my thing. Me and calculus, we don't get along very well, so I kind of switched to something that had a little less calculus. And so I found building construction science, which is a combination of architecture and civil engineering, and it's something that I absolutely fell in love with, and I love it so much, and I use it every day.
It is just an amazing platform to be able to spread awareness of whatever your community service initiative is and get the attention of all the little girls in Mississippi. And I just think that is a beautiful and wonderful thing, and it is an amazing role that any woman would have the privilege of doing.
Well, tell us a little bit about what got you into pageants.
I did the Distinguished Young Woman program my junior year of high school. That was my first ever pageant. I received the talent award that night, and I didn't really do any more pageants until then, until I got to Pearl River Community College, and I did Miss PRCC and won, and went to Miss Mississippi at 17, and I took a break, and now I am back.